Hello Springford, and welcome to another edition of Body Metrix, the show that teaches you practical ways to incorporate healthy nutrition principles into your busy lifestyle. My name is Adrienne Delgado, and I am a registered dietitian right here in the Springford community. Today's video tips are all about starting and staying strong. We love brand new starts, whether it be a Monday or January 1st, or even the start to a new decade. We love the idea of wiping the slate clean and starting over. When it comes to health and nutrition, weight loss continues to be the #1 resolution time and time again. But unfortunately, for so many of us, we fall off that nutrition bandwagon by the second or third week of the month. So how can we make 2020 different from all the other years we have resolved to eat healthier? Here are 3 tips to starting and staying strong to your commitment. Tip number 1, commit to your why. Committing to why you are working on this goal really connects you to the process. Instead of just saying, I want to lose weight, or I want to eat more fruits and vegetables, really think about why you want to make these changes. This small step will be your motivation when things get hard. Tip number 2, enlist in support. Accountability is always a surefire way to connect more to your goals. It's so easy to make excuses or justify behaviors to yourself. But when you enlist the support from others, it can be helpful and a powerful accountability tool. Pick 1 or 2 people to share your health goals with and let them know how they can keep you accountable. And finally, number 3, write down your goals. Rather than simply listing your thoughts in your mind, commit them by writing them down. The simple process of putting your goals to paper makes you 42% more likely to achieve them. That's a huge number and such a simple action step. Better yet, put your piece of paper where you can see it every day. Tape to your bathroom mirror, computer screen, or even make it your phone screensaver. Placing the paper in a place where you will see it repeatedly will help you commit and remember your goals. So remember, if you want your goals to become a reality in 2020, just follow these 3 simple steps. Commit to your why, enlist support, and write down your goals.
Home fire drills give your family a plan of action. In a home fire, you may have less than 2 minutes to get out. So when you drill, show everyone 2 ways out of the house, pick a safe meeting spot, and get there in under 2 minutes. Then practice home fire drills at least twice a year. You can even make them fun, so everyone knows the sound and exactly what to do when they hear a smoke alarm. Go to ready.gov/fire drill and learn how to prepare your family for home fires.
Let's face it, every gym across America is packed the first 2 weeks of January. This is incredibly frustrating for seasoned exercisers and newbies alike because it's virtually impossible to find a piece of equipment to work out on. When it comes to exercise in the new year, I want you to repeat this word over and over again: consistency. What good is it to work out 5 days the first week of January, 3 days the second week of January, and then 0 times the third and fourth week? Either we get burned out from the vigorous schedule, we create an injury because our bodies aren't used to working out at that intensity, or more times than not, our motivation starts to dwindle and our busy schedules start to take over. Because let's face it, getting up at 4:30 is hard when it's cold and so dark outside. So when it comes to figuring out an exercise regimen for the new year, I want you to go back to that word consistency. Think really hard about what schedule you can be consistent with. Whenever I meet with my weight loss clients for the first time, I tell them there are 100 different ways to lose weight. We just have to find the way that works for them. But before they make any changes to their diets, they need to think about whether or not they see themselves still engaged in the habit 5 years from now. Because why start something you have no intention of finishing? I feel the same way about exercise. Of course, our fitness goals can change over time, but the idea or theme will be the same. Pick an exercise you like and that you can be consistent with. That is the secret to starting and staying strong with your fitness goals.
Operation Wonder Park is a go!
There's nothing more powerful than imagination.
Honey, have you seen my cell phone?
But don't just imagine.
My park came to life?
Ooh, a plot twist.
Use STEM to build, create,
She did it!
and change the world.
Who's with me?
I'm more of a 2 feet on the ground kind of guy. It's gonna hurt tomorrow.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
Recently, I've come across this idea or model in 3 different educational pieces, whether it be a book I was reading or a podcast I was listening to. This model states that our thoughts create our feelings create our behaviors, and our behaviors create our outcomes. Let me say that again. Our thoughts create our feelings, which create our behaviors, which create our outcomes. Now, this may not seem that important, but when it comes to motivation, it means everything. Let me give you an example. When a new client comes into our office, we ask them a bunch of questions to get to know them a little better, their health history, their schedules, and their food preferences. But near the end of the interview process, we always ask what motivates them to work at their goals. 9 times out of 10, the client will answer seeing results. Now, we don't ask them that question to trick them, but to see how we can come alongside them and provide motivation. But you can see now that if we put that thought process into the model above, it can't work. The only thing that can create feelings of motivation are the thoughts we have about a specific topic. Results can never create feelings because they are a product of our feelings and behaviors. If you are waiting to see results to feel motivated, you could be waiting a really, really long time. And that's why people get so frustrated. They start strong and are motivated in the beginning of the year because of the thoughts they have around creating a new habit and the hope or promise of results. The thoughts they have that a new habit will create a favorable outcome gives them the motivation to make the behavior changes to see a different result. If the scale goes down, the thought they associate with that new number creates a feeling of motivation to continue with the behavior change. But it always starts with a thought, not a result. Now, the reason I bring this up is because there are going to be times when you do all the right things and you don't see results. It happens, and not necessarily because you did anything wrong, but because plateaus with our health do happen. Remember, the meaning you assign to those lack of results are what is going to create your feelings. If you think, it's not working, so I might as well give up, you may feel defeated and in some cases stop engaging in the healthy habit changes. Giving up will give you the opposite outcome you initially wanted. So many people I know have the mentality, I'm either doing it all right or it's all wrong. Again, the thought of not doing everything right leads to defeat and giving up on health goals, which is ridiculous. You and I know that intellectually, but sometimes it's hard to reason with intense feelings. So today, I'm going to challenge you to remember this model. Motivation always comes from a thought. Pay attention to your inner dialogue and what your voice is telling you. Are your thoughts producing motivation or defeat? Remember, our goal is not only to start strong, but stay strong in 2020.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When it comes to eating well and taking care of our bodies, it's important to be educated and understand the basic principles of health. But we also need the practical part to help us execute our goals, the recipes. I'm going to teach you how to start your day off strong with these easy-to-make mason jar omelets. Now, we all know the importance of eating breakfast every day. It gives us energy, helps us stay more focused, engaged, more productive with our morning tasks. But even though we know the importance of the meal, we still struggle with making time for it because our mornings are so chaotic. So here's a quick recipe idea to take away that excuse. For this recipe, you will need mason jars, and you will need some eggs, and you're going to use 2 eggs per jar. Now the beauty of this recipe is you can make these ahead of time. So however many jars you want to make for the week, obviously you're going to multiply your eggs times 2. You want to make 2 jars, you need 4 eggs. After that, the optional ingredients are endless. I like to always do a little bit of cheese, so today I'm going to use feta, and then I always try to include some vegetables. Today I'm using spinach and sun-dried tomato, but you can use peppers, onions, broccoli, you can do mushrooms. You can also do some add-ins like chopped ham or chicken sausage. Really, mix and match, make it your own. But this is such an easy recipe that you can get together ahead of time, which makes the mornings so much easier. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to spray out our jars. Now I'm just using a cooking spray here to make it really easy. Next, I'm going to add my vegetables. So to this, I'm going to add a little bit of spinach. I'm just going to show you 1 jar, but you'll get the idea. You can do an assembly line here. I'm going to add my sun-dried tomato and a little bit of feta cheese. Next, I'm going to crack 2 eggs into my jar. All right, and then give my hands a wash. If you want to add a little bit of salt and pepper here, you could, or even a little bit of fresh basil or oregano. And then all you're going to do is shake. How easy is this? All right. At this time, you can throw this in your microwave. Obviously, you're going to need to take your lid off first. But you're going to put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, give it a stir, put it in for another 30 seconds, give it a stir, and then you might need an additional 30 seconds. If you don't have a microwave in your house, you can always just pour this into a pan the next morning and you're ready to go. The hardest part about making omelets is all the toppings that go into it. So if you can do this step ahead of time, it's going to save you so much time. Now, I will tell you this. Once you crack an egg, it does need to be used within 48 hours. So one thing that I like to do is I get all my mason jars set up with all my vegetables and cheese or meat or whatever I'm putting in them. And I'll wait until the morning to crack the egg, just because that's the easy part. It's the chopping, it's assembling, that's what takes all the time. So you want to do that the night before. But usually I'll make 2 jars ahead of time because I can keep the cracked eggs, and then for the rest of the week I'll just crack them as I need them. All right, so there you have it, an easy, quick breakfast idea that fills you up, feeds your body well, and gives you a lot of nutrition. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next month.